I'm Kristen.
And I'm Maddie.
We're sisters and heavy readers.
Join us every single week to talk stories, interview authors, and collab with fellow book nerds.
Welcome to the Kristen Mad Show. Welcome back to our podcast. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to focus on quarter one. How did it go? Quarter two. How are we going?
Yeah. How are the reading goals panning out for us?
How do you feel if you had to give yourself like a rating on quarter one, Maddie? How is she going?
I think it's going very well. I think it has been a big adjustment.
Has it?
Yes.
What has been like the hardest thing?
I think because I am very focused on quality over quantity, and because I am devoting more time to rereads, there is a part of me that feels like I'm not tackling the TBR as aggressively as I would like to. But I'm just reviewing my mantras daily that good books will be good forever and there's no rush. But I think for the past 2 years, I was just running through that TBR as fast as I could. And there was a certain level of dopamine associated with that. And I am now, tapering off of that dopamine. So there's a little bit of withdrawal happening, but there's also immense satisfaction happening because I'm literally guaranteeing myself 5-star reading experiences every month just by rereading things that I really love and getting more into them than I ever have before and reading them with new people. And so that is like peak reading. So I don't know. We're given and we're taken.
So you're feeling happy about this shift, even though it's come with its little bumps.
I am happy with the shift, and I am happy to be doing more books not on audio. Like I like the balance of physical to audio that I'm doing.
Ooh, I could not agree more. I've been feeling like a reader again. Not that I ever stopped doing books, but I was just so audiobook heavy because of the efficiency of it. And I think that efficiency piece is what you're speaking of when you're attacking your physical TBR and you're just like bulldozing through your list. That can be so fun, but there ain't nothing like holding the book, flipping the pages. Ugh, I'm loving it. I'm reading definitely more physical, but my goal was to read like as much physical as audio. And in that regard, I sure am failing. Sure am. Because I'm still doing like out of 8 books, I would say I'm only physically reading 2 and I'm doing audio on like 6.
Wow.
So that's not my favorite, but she's recovering.
Yes, we are always working on improving. It's fine.
And also, I had this huge ambitious goal, who is she, that I was going to start tracking books on like multiple platforms. The truth is I've stopped tracking everywhere. I'm just using Maddie's Excel spreadsheet.
You're not even tracking on Goodreads?
I forget. I'm just not even thinking about it. And then I'll be like, oh, shoot. So I'll run over there and I haven't even been like star rating. I feel so bad for all the people who follow me on there and they're hoping to get some tea. You ain't getting nothing from me this year. And I don't know if I'm going to change it because the spreadsheet feels like it actually helps me dissect how I felt more so than the other places. And that helps me on here give better reviews. So I'm hoping to give you guys better reviews visually and on our different platforms.
So you're just not worrying about Goodreads, which is fine.
Yeah, and I set up a Storygraph account. Haven't touched it.
Well, it's fine.
And I used to track on Fable, and I just completely am not tracking on Fable. Essentially, I said I was going to do more, and I started doing less.
Right. I think that is fair. I think as we moved into this year of reading, I think that we both put a lot of priority and focus on our book club, on the Patreon book club, and doing that and shifting that focus has given us more of what we actually want out of a reading community.
Yes.
And it just means we're doing a little less in our like personal ambitions of reading more physically or tracking all over the place or whatever. But I am very eager to dive into my spring TBR because while my winter TBR has been great, I have been loving it. I want to get back a little bit into some magical realism that I've been missing and some kind of like scratch your brain type of fiction that's a little less plot heavy and more just like vibe, cerebral language heavy. I'm specifically talking about Olivia Blake and R.F. Kuang and V.E. Schwab. Like,
Get it,
I've
girl.
got a book from each of them on deck. Like I'm reading Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. I just got Catabasis, the Arc from R.F. Kuang.
That is so fun to say. And also, can you say it 3 times in a row? Catabasis, catabasis, catabasis. It's crazy.
And then I just got Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, the Arc from V.E. Schwab. So I'm
You let me know.
really excited. Those are all arcs, so I have to physically read them, which is good for my brain.
You get to physically read
I'm
them.
so excited. Yeah, they're going to be probably all a little slower paced, a little scratch the brain type books, and I'm going to take my time with them because they don't release for quite a while. Well, Gifted and Talented is now out, but the other 2 are not out yet. So I'm just going to take my time with them. I'm going to enjoy them. They're standalones. It's going to be very different. I have been deep into some series, so I'm excited about all 3 of those.
Standalones are such a good time because I feel like the stakes are so low. The amount of pages you have to read for a conclusion. It's meant for the girlies like me that have a very short attention span.
I love series, but I just sometimes find myself, when I say I want variety, it's like, oh, I've been in my bag, I've been in my series, and it's like, oh, wait, I remember I loved some of these standalones.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at my bookshelves, like, oh, those were such a good time, and I haven't read one in a while. So
Yeah.
I just built myself a little stack and thought, these are the ones.
I think that in Q1 I had more 5 stars in a quarter, like cumulatively, than ever before. I'm pretty sure I just stopped reading everything that I thought was popular and I felt like I should read as a reader. And I started only reading things that felt interesting to me at the time, because sometimes it's a mood thing. So instead of being like, well, everybody knows this book is coming out right now, so like you need to buy it and read it in a fever, I'm just like, okay, I can read that later if I want, but I could also read this super old book right now that I'm actually in the mood for. So kind of just like taking time before I jump into my next book. I love the library, and when all the books are available at once, I feel like I used to just kind of let that steer me, but I wasn't always in the mood for those books. So I've actually you can put it on hold and be like, actually give it back to me in 6 weeks. Like you can push out a book that's ready for you. I've been doing that a lot and just actually making sure that I'm in a place where I can get the best rating maybe out of the book. When we had a rom-com disrupt our TBRs, first time caller, I was really in the mood for rom-com. So I'm like, is it good? Probably. It's probably really good whenever you read it, but it was so good because I hadn't read a good one in eons. And it just felt like this genre, I left it alone. I should bring some of that back. So I think a lot of it too is just in Patreon, we're reading things slowly. We're reading a book over 4 weeks. So instead of this binge mentality that we've just all had, it's like in doses, and we're like thinking about it and deep diving. And I don't always give myself the time to do that. And then every week we do our reading like check-in about all the things we've been reading, and we're talking so much about each book we're in. It just really enhances the experience for me.
Yeah, I think we just want to actually commit some of these books and stories to memory.
Yes.
And we want to actually absorb all the different aspects of the book that we read. And so it's a balance. I think it's a balance of knowing what kind of reading pace serves you and knowing how long you want to spend with a book. And I think it's also about sometimes savoring it. But I think it depends on the book. And I think it depends on what your reading experience is. Like, are you buddy reading it? Are you doing it with a book club? Are you just doing it on your own on a plane in 12 hours?
Oh my gosh. The way I was fever dream reading sex scenes on this plane. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Because you were reading the Elsie Silver book?
Yes. And I was like, whoever is behind me can literally read this because my print is so fucking large on my Kindle. I started making it smaller because I was like, I feel very like exposed.
Well, what else are you looking forward to, like, for your spring TBR? Is anything going to shift or change, or are you kind of sticking with what's been working for you?
I'm going to stick with what's been working with me, which is a bunch of rando things that have just been like, ooh, that sounds fun. So Sunrise on the Reaping, which goes with the Hunger Games, just came out. And it was like, I was feeling the hype, but I was like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for this right now. Well, my daughter read it. She said it wrecked her. And she was like, you're going to love it. Oh. So I'm taking my 12-year-old daughter's rec and I'm going to read Sunrise on the Reaping probably very soon. But also, Hunger Games is one of those series that has such deep nostalgia for me that I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it just for the nostalgia piece. But I have seen some mixed reviews, so I'll try to keep you guys posted on her. How about you?
I would like to finish off a couple of things. Like, I kind of want to go back and revisit some worlds that I've been missing because I started them and not all of the books were out. So.
Is this the Rage of Dragons one that you're referring to?
Literally, I have like 5 that fit this category.
Like 5? Oh my gosh. That's okay. Rapid fire. Yeah. What are these ones that you want to complete?
I want to go back into the Burning series with Fires of Vengeance. And I did Rage of Dragons physically, read it with my eyeballs. And now I just discovered that the audiobook narrator is so gifted. It has so enhanced the experience. I listened to like a little preview of Fires of Vengeance, and I was trying to decide which books I want to do on audio versus physical, and I'm getting very picky about this lately since I'm trying to do more physically. And so I just want to only listen to audiobooks where the audiobook is actually making the experience even better. And I'm telling you, Fires of Vengeance.
Really?
This audiobook narrator is bringing.
Do you know his name? Life. Who is this person?
I looked him up. I don't.
That's okay.
I will put it in the description though. Like, he is phenomenal.
It does make a huge difference, mostly if they suck, but also if they're great.
I mean, he's so good.
Any accent?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. It's so good. I would say I'm not an expert in all of the dialects, but it's giving, like, it was reminiscent to me of like a Nigerian accent. It kind of sounded like, you know, the Black Panther movies.
Yes.
It's like that.
Ooh.
So good.
Okay.
So I'm loving that. And then I also want to go back into the Lost Queen series because I was loving that Irish, like around 1080 type story. I think it's even older than that, actually. But that's another one. Audiobooks are amazing because it's an Irish narrator. So good. So I want to do The Forgotten Kingdom and The Shadowed Land to kind of finish the trilogy. I also want to do Of Empires and Dust, but I'm going to read that physically. That is the next book in the Bound and the Broken series.
Okay, yes.
I'm missing that world by Ryan Cahill. And, I want to go back into the Chloe Gong books, but I think I'm going to physically read that one too. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was like her new adult series.
Violist.
Immortal Longings.
Okay.
And the new book is Violist Things, and I haven't read that yet. It is going to be a trilogy, and the 3rd book isn't out yet, so I haven't been like in a big rush to get to the 2nd book, but I'm like missing that world. So I'm like, so I think that is the theme right now, is I'm like, I'm missing these places. I could go back to these books and it wouldn't be like I need to learn the world. It wouldn't be like I need the introduction and the world building. It's like, I could just dive right back in. I'll feel right back in it. It'll be characters I already know and love, and I'll just be able to like continue these stories. So that's my vibe. That's my vibe right now. Okay, so I'm not really going to be in a bunch of big series. Well,
surprise.
They're like little series.
What do you think is better? The high that you get from starting a new series or the high you get from finishing a series?
Oh, God. I maybe think continuing and finishing is my favorite. I actually think it takes me a lot of momentum to start a series. How about you?
Complete opposite. I love starting something new. I'm just like so excited for the journey. And then I think it's because I haven't always read what I want to read. I feel like I lose momentum and it feels so sluggish. And by the end, I'm like, if we could just tie off these loose ends. Like it makes me go crazy.
Intriguing. I think you must be in series you don't like.
That's the theme. So my hope is that I get into some. Okay, let me tell you which one. Okay. I have it here in front of me, and I always get it confused. Okay, an Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir. Sabah Tahir. I'm very excited about this one because shout out to Nav, who's in the motherfucking family on Patreon, sent me this series and was like, listen, this is the YA series for me. And we have very similar tastes. And I am just trusting the TBR to basically our Patreon family all the time. Like, I can't tell you how many books I'm reading that I'm like, well, the Patreon said I'd like it, so here I go. It's basically everything. But I'm so excited about this one because I do love YA. Everybody knows this about me, that I have been literally dying for the feeling I felt in Throne of Glass for 2 years now. I'm just here waiting on the conveyor belt, like, what's frickin' coming to feel that good? And then I'm also going to do the Infernal Devices, which is just literally like people have been shipping me with this trilogy for so long.
No pressure, but I hope that you are obsessed with it.
I'm not even putting pressure on it because I just know based off of vibes. I've read some reviews on it and it just seems like it's going to be perfect. So I am allowing myself to try some series, but I am really trying to do ones that I feel great enthusiasm for.
Good call.
So hopefully with those two, I'll gain some more momentum back into series so that I don't feel forever shattered by the experiences that didn't go so well.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for you.
It's okay.
I also forgot to mention, I think you want to do this one too. I'm excited to get back to the Legendborn cycle world.
I have it right here. Yeah. I do think I need a quickie little recap, probably a little ChatGPT tell me what the fuck happened in books 1 and 2, because it's been a couple years for us.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I'm so excited for Oathbound. I just really I loved Legendborn and I loved Bloodmarked, so I can't imagine I wouldn't love Oathbound. I'm just like excited to jump back in.
And that's going to be 4 books, right? So we are going to have to wait for a conclusion for book 4 to come out. I did those 2 books on audio the first time and really loved it.
That narrator is great.
So I'm trying to decide, like I have the physical book and I'm trying to read more physical, but I'm like, can I even give myself that experience?
That might be when I immersion read. Like I might do the physical book, but also like pick up the audio here and there just because I love that narrator so much.
Hold on. A little clarification for me. When you immersion read, you're not always audio and physical. Sometimes you're doing one, sometimes you're doing the other.
It's all of the above. Like, like I'll sit down and I open the book and I'm following along while I'm listening on audio.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, oh, I got to go get in the car. So I close the book and then I'm just on audio for like 20 minutes. And then that night I will turn the audio off and I snuggle up in bed and then I'm just reading the physical book and I'm like continuing on. And then later I'm doing both again. It's like I'm having both.
I feel like
why choose?
Immediately no, because you have to find your place over and over and over again in different things.
I am very into having clear stopping points. Like I will never stop reading in the middle of a chapter.
What is this?
Audio or in a physical. Like I get to the end of a section.
I thought immersion reading was you always have the physical book and the audio going.
That's possible. That's possible that's what people mean when they say it. I call it immersion reading when I am doing both, sometimes simultaneously and sometimes one or the other.
Did you put on your spreadsheet as an option for the way you devoured a book, immersion?
I did not.
I feel like we need to because I don't think that's necessarily audio or physical. I feel like that is a thing in its own.
Yes. I usually just pick the one I did most of. But yes, we could add immersion to the spreadsheet if you would like.
Well, I just am a rule follower and I'm like, what's the rules? On immersion reading. Okay, Dungeon Crawler Carl, we got to talk about it. Both of us want to do this so bad.
I'm excited to see what the hype is all about with Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman.
Dinniman. That's another word I like.
I've heard a lot of things about Princess Donut.
What is so clowning about this book is I'm like, I think I need to remind everybody in the class that we're all adults, but we are going to read a book about some guy going through different levels with a cat named Princess Donut. Like, it sounds like something my son's comic book would have made up, but full-on adults are like raging. And I thought it was like 2 books. It's like 8 or something.
It's a lot of books in the series.
So I don't know if I'm going to be able to like blast through it, but maybe it'll be like the series for me, and I'm like, finally.
I have also heard from many, many people that this is a story that is majorly enhanced on audio, so
okay,
might have to be an audio one for that.
I need to figure out what books are better physical, because I feel like I keep hearing that books are better on audio, and I'm like, well, your girl is trying to read more physical books.
Yes, that's why I started with I'm going to read all of my arcs physically, obviously, because the audiobooks are not out yet.
Sure.
So
Sure.
That's the list I'm building there. And I've been rereading my classics on physical. Obviously, all the things we're doing with the Patreon, I'm reading physically because I'm like highlighting and annotating, making notes, that kind of thing. But I think I'm going to physically read A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. Little standalone moment.
Oh, yay.
I also think I might physically read Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor, which
I keep
I'm
hearing
very
things.
excited for.
Yes.
And since Murderbot is now getting adapted, I think now is the time for me to pick up Murderbot. And people love that one on audio, but they're so short that I think I'm just going to physically read those.
Murderbot. When is this coming out? Can we make this another page to screen situation?
I'm starting to wonder, guys, the Patreon, the motherfucking family has chosen to read 11/22/63 in May.
Which
as
is
our
like
page
a
to
thriller?
screen.
A techno thriller?
It's a horror.
Oh.
Written by Stephen King.
Okay.
But it's not as horror-y as some of his other books. It does involve time travel. It centers the assassination of Kennedy. So I'm very excited for this one. It's been on my TBR for a long time. However, it is long.
Yeah, she's a thick one.
It does receive mixed reviews. So my thought, Kristen, is we are going to give it the old college try.
Yep.
We're going to do week 1 with the Patreon family. We're all going to read the first section. We're going to start the show. And then we're all going to take a pulse check and see how we're feeling, because life's too short to invest that much time in something we're not all obsessed with. If we're all obsessed, great. We will finish 11/22/63. If we're not, I think we do a soft pivot and we do Murderbot because it's so short and we could easily do it in 3 weeks, and then we can start the show. That's my backup plan.
So the show is out currently.
It just got released, yes.
Woohoo! Okay, this sounds very fun. If we love the Stephen King one,
We can just do it in May.
we can do Murderbot in May.
Oh, no, sorry, in June. We are, as of now, scheduled to do Stephen King in May. So,
Oh, yeah,
if
what
we
month is it?
love doing that, then we could do Murderbot in June. But I'm just leaving a little backup plan in place because I have my reservations about 11/22/63.
Maddie?
In fact, someone who went to Italy with us, we took some members of the book club with us to Italy.
Super fun.
So fun. And someone who was there, MK, was like, I know for a fact Kristen is going to hate 11/22/63.
Look, this is what I'm saying is like, is it even love if you're not helping me build and take off of my TBR?
For real.
Like, I feel such love. I'm also reading not to like totally change the topic or the genre, but I'm reading Elsie Silver's Chestnut Springs books because people have been telling me for ages to read it. And I'm like, no, I'm so serious. I read serious books. I am having so much fun. And I'm like, who is she? And now I'm like, I thought that these books were about like the kind of cowboys that I like imagine, like country boys, like around like where we live, okay, in Indiana. No, these are like fucking ranchermen that ride bulls. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Are you weak for these men?
I'm sorry. It's like the hottest. I'm like, do I need to buy chaps? Like, what? The leather.
If you show up in Cowgirl Boots next week, I'm going to have
Next
issues.
Trova trip in Montana. What? It's so fun. I think honestly, it feels like a really fun themed rom-com that I would have enjoyed watching back in the day. They used to make such great rom-coms when we were growing up and even when we were young, and I feel like they just don't hold up anymore like the ones they're making these days. So I feel like I'm reading one that I would like. So I'm going to keep reading that, but I've also heard something about this like Lasso book series. done and dusted.
Yes, those are by Lila Sage, I think.
And they feel very summery. So let me know if you guys think I should do that or Abby Jimenez.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but Patreon loves their books. Loves them.
I think that a lot of people who love Emily Henry also love Abby Jimenez.
And we read so much Emily Henry. You and I really went through like almost all of her backlog. We still have some now. So I feel like maybe I'll do some of that for summer. Something about contemporary romance feels summer to me. So I will think I'm just going to kind of sprinkle those and Bridgerton in as palate cleansers because you're not like on a cliffhanger where you like need to read them back to back. But if I just know these are two fun series that I'm just going to pop in between doing series, I think that will work well for me. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really, really intense that I'm wanting to do. That might be about it.
Intense things that are waiting for me, and I'm just like on this decision fence of
from your physical TBR, is that what you're saying? There's intense ones on there.
Yes, so I'm just trying to decide, like, do I finish all of the First Law books, or do I finish all of Wheel of Time, or do I finish all of do I go back to my final trilogy of Realm of the Elderlings because I'm so sad for it to be over? Or do I just pop into something completely new, like Daughter of the Empire or the Dandelion Dynasty? Or, I get very excited, or A Song of Ice and Fire.
And and the Expanse series.
Oh my gosh, the Expanse.
Here's
I
the
have
thing.
So many things.
I personally, knowing you a little bit, feel like you can't pop into more than one of those right now. Like, you are going to feel so good when you have caught up in the Wheel of Time.
Oh, I have got to finish that series.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't do it now, you're fucked. Like,
I'll never go back. It will never
But
happen.
also, it's not even finished, right?
Oh, no, it's a finished series. I would never have started
Song of Ice and Fire.
Finished.
Song of Ice and Fire is like TBD, never finished, possibly.
Potentially never going to be
finished. I feel like that's going to drive you crazy.
It could potentially really hurt, yes.
But our sister-in-law, Charity, said that she had the
it
best
was her
time.
best reading of 2024, so I'm like, well.
I almost want to do that for Page to Screen, just saying.
I kind of want to do that in the
just
Patreon, too. If you guys are in the motherfucking family on Patreon or you want to join us, let us know if you want to do A Song of Ice and Fire. Just the first book. Like, we would just tackle a Game of Thrones and watch the first season as a club. But I am very excited I loved that show. I'm very excited to read the book.
I just remembered something, and I think it's going to give you fanny flutters.
Ooh.
Do you even... That's funny. I think, I didn't put this on my list, but I think I can handle one thing that's serious this quarter.
Oh, boy.
And I'm going to do Liveship Traders.
Oh, Kristen, if you read Liveship Traders, I will actually pass away.
Will Elsie Silver look so stupid beside reading that? I don't know. It's both parts of my personality.
It's so fine.
I'm excited for the balance. Like, it would be my only adult series. Oh, wait, no. Dungeon Crawler Carl is adult.
The only thing I'm thinking, if I was planning your TBR.
Oh, okay.
I do think Liveship Traders could be great fun in summer. And maybe I'm biased because that's when I read it. But I finished Liveship Traders in September. So I was reading it for like July, August, September. Mm-hmm. And it's like a high seas pirate setting. So I feel like it works really well for summer.
I know. And I like know that you're planning to get some sort of like a ship tattoo situation. And I've already been thinking, like, do I need a pirate flag at some point? Like, I don't know. I just feel like it might be the call. I have been dying for the feeling of Pirates of the Caribbean in a book my whole life. Like, nobody has ever been able to do that for me in book form. But I am feeling like, listen, this might be close enough to just give me that, like, that crew, that sweaty, salty air, the mustiness, the death, I don't know.
It will all be there. I mean, I don't want to comp it too hard to Pirates of the Caribbean because it's not like...
It's its own thing.
It's not an action-adventure romance, but it definitely has action-adventure and a little bit of romance. It's
Sure.
It's just so good.
I almost miss our reaction videos so bad. Remember when you had read the books first and then like we would get together and we'd read and I'd be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And you would just pick up your camera and it would be like my reactions to something. And I think it really like solidified like those books in my brain because there were all of these like pauses.
Yeah.
We get a lot of that with Patreon, but I'm like,
we should do it with Liveship Traders.
maybe we do it with Liveship Traders or together with Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yes. Oh, Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Like we just get together, read it together. We set a timer for like a sprint. I would love that.
I feel very confident that you are going to love Live Ships because both Courtney and Micah loved it and they just read it. And it was me saying like, I'm not sure you're going to like all of Realm of the Elderlings. I'm not sure you're going to love Farseer. Like Micah read all of Farseer, but it was like, just like okay for her. Both of them loved Liveship Traders.
Well, I love them. So I will give it a go. So that's going to be like my serious one. So what are you going to read for like funsies, Maddie?
Literally everything I just said sounds fun to me. What are you talking about?
I'm like, no. What about like for funsy lightseas? Is Dungeon Crawler Carl going to be like your humor?
Yes.
Okay.
Dungeon Crawler Carl is going to be light and fluffy. I feel like I'm having so much fun with Fires of Vengeance. It's like super action packed. I feel like a little Adrian Young, A Sea of Unspoken Things. That'll
I forgot
just
about
be
that.
like a quick little standalone. And they're always so like page turny, like what's happening. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to throw in any rom-coms or anything. You asked what I was like looking forward to and what my focus was on.
That makes me very excited for you because I think you're going to have a stellar next quarter. It is a little bit intimidating coming off of quarter one being like so fire that I'm like, oh, what goes up must come down.
No, don't say that. Maybe this is just going to be a banger year for you all the way around because you're actually reading to your taste and you're not listening to outside influences. I mean, you are being influenced all the time, but you're like...
by my family.
I think you're like taking care with being more intentional, telling people what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And like keeping a lot of variety in your month and like not sticking with things that you don't like.
Yes, yes. And I feel like every single week that I like am not sure what to read and then I ask the motherfucking family like, should I read this or this? You guys are always spot the frick on. So I have a bunch of people in my corner.
Yes, yes. The family on Patreon has got you covered. They know you. They know what you like. Yes. Well, we hope that you guys, as you reflect on quarter one, just as we were starting this podcast, we were thinking it's not about like, did I meet my goals or not? It's not like New Year's resolutions. It's more just like you set some goals. We set some goals in December thinking like, let's shift some focus. Let's focus on some things in 2025. And this was more just like a check-in. How are we feeling? What's working? What's not? Sounds like for Kristen, a lot is working besides the tracking. Everything else, like it's working for you. You are having a good reading year.
Yes, I am. And I think that was like my alter ego that came up with that goal, to be honest. Like, I don't know her. I don't know who she is.
And I feel like it's working for me too. Like I said, I'm just experiencing some of the lack of dopamine. But you know, that's something that I'm also working on in my life is to just settle in for those things that bring more long-term satisfaction instead of just chasing that constant dopamine hit because it's exhausting. And to be frank, the dopamine just doesn't hit like it used to when that's all you're pursuing. So
okay, Maddie.
We're here for those long-term satisfaction goals. And I have every intention on looking back at 2025 as a whole, feeling very connected to my book community, very attached and connected to the stories I love the most and feeling like they're in my soul and I know them and feeling like the books that I did choose to pick up and throw in the mix that I am happy with the way that I consumed them and that they're stuck in my brain and I can recommend them to the people who will love them the most. I'm very focused on that. At the end of the year, I'm going to look back and feel very satisfied.
Yes. I am so curious for you guys listening. What are you so excited about in Q2? Is it a new way that you're reading? Do you have new goals, or is it a specific book or series? Because we want to get excited about what you're excited about. Honestly, it really pumps us up just to be around readers who are enjoying their reading right now. So put that in the comments. Also, don't forget that if you're somewhere where you can like or subscribe or leave a little cheeky review, we love that. That's always so helpful. Thanks for hanging out with me and my sister. This is our favorite thing to do. Be with the book people and talk about them books. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.